Can you hear us?
Yay! Yeah. Try by fire, I guess, but we're good.
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
we hear
good.
you.
Yep.
You. So, thank you for joining me.
You're
It's
welcome.
our pleasure.
Definitely.
Better late than never, I guess, but oh well.
Yeah. Hey, we made it.
I figured it out. We're here. We're gonna talk about some stuff that us three individuals are very, very passionate about in this wonderful state of Michigan. So, who do we have tonight?
You got Chris McLean,
Okay.
a videographer for Great Lakes Thunder Motorsports.
Okay.
And you have Christy Grandy, the photographer of Great Lakes Thunder Productions.
Awesome. So, what do you guys like about Demolition Derby in this wonderful state?
Oh, where to start? I think what I love the most about Demolition Derby, besides just seeing the cars, do what they do, get smashed up, get tore up. I like the friendships you meet along the way. When you're wandering the pits or you're out in the fairground at the event, just the nice, um, just the nice,
Camaraderie.
yes. That at each event you go to, it's just that you get to know them, but then they become your friends. That makes sense.
Exactly.
It's a lot like that for me. I love meeting new people. I love being able to check out the cars. I mean, guys put so much time and effort and heart and sweat and blood, tears into these things. For me, even when I was little, I loved the action. I loved just watching metal on metal. It was always something I always wanted to do myself. I never thought I'd get a chance. My mother was always very, we don't do derbies. Girls don't do that. But I've seen girls get out there and do it, so I know girls can do it. But it's like he said too. It's a lot of the friendships you make. It's amazing to see and meet these people who just absolutely have so much love for this. Even though sometimes it takes you away from family because you're spending so much time building these vehicles, but in the end result, it's just amazing.
I'd like to add one more thing also from what I was saying. It's the workmanship that everybody puts into the cars. I mean, for a person in the stands, they're coming to watch a show. You guys, the derby drivers. Oh, is that on your end?
We got some static.
Got some static. There we go.
What was that?
What was?
What in the world?
Still there?
I don't know. Hang on. I'm trying to get. There we go.
Okay.
This was on my end.
Oops.
Apologize for that.
Sorry about that.
That's going to be funny to go back and rewatch.
What was that?
I mean, it's like you watch all these people do this, and you're like, oh yeah, I could do that, and you start clicking away, and it's like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, he's doing it on Streamlabs, and I'm like, or StreamYard. I'm like, what's StreamYard? Because I run Twitch, so when I'm doing Twitch, I'm like, my whole setup's already done and everything, and I'm like, yeah, everything's right here, and it's like, I'm like Googling StreamYard. I'm like, I don't know this stuff. I was like, this is gonna be fun.
But going back on what I was saying, the people in the stands, they see cars coming to get smashed up in an event, but they don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see, the work, the time, the money that everyone puts into these. I'm going to call them machines because that's what they look like to me. They're just wrecking machines.
Well,
And I get into more now besides just the wrecking part. I like seeing the builds. I like seeing the time and the passion that people, the drivers put into the cars. That means a lot. I mean, that coming from an absolute 100% diehard fan, supporter, that means the world to see that. Absolute world.
what I like about it is the engineering behind it. You get a car and people think, oh, it's just a car. But the engineering factor that takes place in how to build these things, people don't know anything about. Oh, it's just gonna drop to the ground and it's gonna be a heap of junk. But it bends how they want it to bend, and it's like, wow, you put that plate there, you notch it there. Man, it's terminology that we know. But when you wander the pits, like you say, you hear the word tilting and pre-bending and notching. It all makes sense once you're in the sport.
Exactly. 100%.
And it's like, oh, I'm going to put that plate right there because I know 110% it's going to bend right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're right. And it's just, that's why when me and you, Chris, talked, it's like, you know what? Perfect guy. He knows a lot from a different viewpoint as a builder. I'm a builder. You record the event.
Yeah. I love going back and watching it myself over and over and over. I never get enough of that. I just don't get enough of it. If it was free, if I could go to, across the nation anytime to watch one, I would. But between work, and the responsibilities of life, I mean, it's just hard nowadays. It's just hard to do it. You can't do it.
No, it's like how can these, like, I mean, these drivers build a dozen or so cars a year. It's like, how do you have time for that?
Right?
It's like, man, I wish I had time to do that, but I don't. I would love to, but I just don't.
Yeah.
But other than that, you guys have any events that you gonna hit up this year, or you're not gonna pick that on the bag yet?
Well, definitely. One of the main ones we're hitting is in. This is not in Michigan. Blizzard Bash.
Oh,
We love Blizzard Bash. We go out there. It's practically like a second home. You get out there and everybody's just so amazing, and these cars that they're building are just,
gosh,
they blow your mind. And they put these guys, 4-man teams, 2 of them together, and in 5 minutes these guys have got the business done. I mean, and you're ready to go for the next one, and you're just like, wow, man.
These are full cage
wow.
cars, and they're on the gas. I mean,
it's just amazing. And it's really cool for us because we actually get guys, some of the nation guys who actually, like, some of them get a hold of us. Hey, you guys coming? It's like, that makes you feel really cool because like, when we started doing this, we started doing it for memories. We didn't expect to ever get this big. We just wanted to give back to you guys for, going out there and putting on a show and giving it your all. and we just love, like he said, he loves to go back. Why we both love going back over the videos. I love going back over the pictures and going, man, that was a hell of a shot.
There is one. Speaking of shows, there is one coming up in about the next. Well, it's the middle of May. It's Iron Invasion. It's Loudmouth Promotions. Jared Blades. He's putting the show on. It looks like it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited to go and see that.
No, I'm not really familiar with that neck of the woods north of me.
Mhm.
The little birdie told me that's on asphalt.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They actually, we've seen before. They did rear-wheel drive derbies on that same track. USA did it. They still do it on that track.
Yep.
It's the very same track. It is pretty cool. They actually do figure eights on that track too. Which
Really?
yes.
You wouldn't think about it being asphalt and everything, but them guys fly. They get going pretty good, and it's pretty amazing to watch.
It is, yeah. It's a different animal when you see asphalt derbies to clay track derbies. It's different.
Yeah, I'm just curious how do you put all that horsepower down to the track without sliding all over the place?
Well, yeah, honestly, there's been a few times where it's rained when we've gone, and that really puts the slide going because them guys get a little slippery and squirrely out there. But they make it work. It turns into more of a driver's kind of game.
Yep.
How good are you as driver suddenly becomes like all important on that asphalt, especially when it's wet, because it turns, like he said, it turns into a whole different thing.
And that's a really good venue also because the pits are huge. I mean, they're not far away from the track. I mean, they don't have to drive the cars really that far because it's just off the track. I mean, that's exactly how it is in Midland.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm that's right around Memorial Day weekend, and I might convince the wife to take a little drive up there so I can actually.
I should. Yeah, definitely come check it out.
It's not that far from your neck of the woods, really. I mean,
No, it's about an hour, roughly.
Yep.
About an hour from me.
Yep. Then another one, derby plan to go to is Sanilac County Fair. There's quite a few derbies we plan on going to, but Sanilac County Fair would plan to come to that one again.
Oh,
That was pretty wicked last year.
it's. I remember bringing. Oh, I'm not going to tell you my age, but probably can figure it out. But I remember when that track used to have telephone poles as the blocker. Then they upgraded to actual logs.
Yep.
Then they went to cinder blocks. But I remember, this name's going to sound pretty familiar, but remember Stacy Sherman?
The name does sound familiar, yes.
It's Justin Sherman's dad.
All right.
Okay.
I remember him running at Sandusky. That's how old I. Yeah. I mean,
There's
Don Rickett. Remember?
Yep.
Don Rickett. I watched him run there, and it's like watching that venue grow and grow every single year. It's just mind blowing.
See, last year I was making my little tour around the pits, and there's a gentleman that I recognized his number from back in the early '90s during the big, huge, big car count derby days, And I remember that number, and I was like, I bet you that's him. Robert Black. You ever sound familiar?
I remember. I don't remember. I remember him, but I don't remember watching him.
He ran in Sandusky last year.
Hmm.
Yeah, he ran in there. I was like, I know you. That's what I said to him. I said, you ran a lot of like the USA Demolition Derby state championships. Robert Black. He has a nickname. I can't think of it right now though. Bert or Bert. Bert.
Burt Black.
Yeah, it's Bert. That's what it is. Yep.
And since they are running minis now, the vans,
Mhm.
and cars, you're going to see a lot of shows start. I mean, I hope not, but a lot of shows going to start switching over to the minis, and minivans.
Yeah. Well,
but that might be 20, 30 years down the road when we're smashing up a Tesla or two, but
Oh, I don't think I'd want to see that. Now, if you really want to impress me, let's do some Cooper Minis and maybe a Ford Fiesta. Find me an old Chevy Chevette. Yeah, let's throw them guys in there into a derby.
you gotta check it out. But Zach McCormick, Zach's Workshop on YouTube,
mhm.
he actually built the Mini Cooper.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
He actually built a Mini Cooper, and it basically built like a tank.
Maybe that might be the going trend, for the future. So you have to, I guess, a lot of people, and I hear it too. I mean, you got cars right now, but you got to look at the fact it was back in 2011 they stopped producing the Crown Victoria.
Yeah.
So I understand they got a lot of them out there. I understand that, but it's gonna come to that time. We're gonna have to start improvising. I mean, you already kind of see it on the 2008. Their Derby in 2008 cars and 2009.
It's just like wow. It's like getting times. Like I hope the times aren't changing because I like that raw horsepower, that smell of alcohol or race gas or whatever they use. I love that smell. Wish they made it.
Mhm.
But other than that, I forgot to ask you guys, but how long have you guys been going about doing recordings and everything like that?
I started actually recording. It was about 2012. 2012, I really dug in, and
it's been about 12 years of actually
about 12 years.
Actually doing both the photography and the videos. It's been about 12 years, but he was actually kind of doing it a little bit more before that, but it wasn't like we didn't really blow it up into what we do. He was just he had a little tiny camera.
We're talking. The camera was
digital.
It was a little, and that's how I actually started off recording demolition derby shows across the state.
Our first date was actually Newego Halloween Crash Bash, and he had his little camera. I looked over and I snapped a picture of him doing it. And he's just like this, and I'm just like, there it is. That's the future starting right there.
There's been times, pouring rain. I just stayed out there and I was recording it. It's just, I don't see it. I don't see me giving it up at all. It's been with me since I was born. I mean, my dad derby when I was, before I was born. When I was alive, I didn't actually see it, but I got to see the pictures of it. But yeah,
once you're hooked, you're hooked. Like,
oh yeah,
I am. I have my one friend. I have my one friend, I got him hooked. I don't remember. I don't think you guys were there. But you remember that car that got ripped in half and the rear tires were way over there and basically saw the ground?
I seen the picture. I wasn't there, but I
we weren't
seen the
there.
pictures of it. Yeah.
That was my car, and I let one of my friends run it, and I told him, I'm not driving this back up on the trailer. Finish it off. And ever since then, he's hooked. I have two other friends. My one friend, both of them helped me build last year's car, and they're like, you're going to be driving, and I want you to drive. Okay, and
Mhm.
it's like when you're helping your friends out building these things, you kind of get that little like, what's this really like? Let's do this. It's like,
Which is really funny because a couple of years back, and this is also another one of the shows that we're gonna do too. Our friend Chris Lloyd does the Red Cedar Jubilee, and they have a nice little derby. Well, a couple of years back, kind of as a birthday present to him, Lloyd and I talked about putting him in a car. Oh, it was amazing because he's always wanted to do this, and I've always heard from him. Man, I would love to try that. I would love to do it. And Lloyd and I plotted for 6 months, and finally we went down, and he actually got to help work on the car. I had to kind of like fib to him a little bit, but when we finally got closer, I'm like, yeah, you're going down to work on this car because you're gonna drive it. He's like, no, I don't want to break nothing. And I'm like, no, you don't get a choice. We've plotted this out.
That was fun.
And he got out there and it was just he didn't get a lot of time, but he had fun with it. And it just made me happy to just see him get out there and try it for the first time.
I wasn't nervous at all. I had a couple fellow derby drivers that I know come up to me and ask me if I had butterflies. No, I don't have butterflies. I want to get in the car and I just want to be with the car. I want to be part of that car. You know what I mean? And when it was time to fire up and trek out on the track, man, I got to say, I've asked a lot of drivers in years past, what's the feeling getting ready to drive out on that track? And they are 100% spot on it. I mean, there's no feeling like it. I mean, it is amazing.
It's amazing. It's like, I look at it as like going through the tunnel, running through the tunnel at a football stadium. All you see is crowd over here, crowd over there, and just lights. And you just that tunnel vision. You're like, yep, let's go time. And that countdown, you can hear the countdown in the background, and it gives me chills just talking about it.
It does. I'd do it in a heartbeat again. I would. Hands down, man. I would.
On one condition, that it's a big car. There's been a couple guys who have been like, man, we'll build you a little car, and he's just like, no,
I'm not a little. They're fun to watch get smashed up. Years ago, I really wasn't into them, but they're starting to grow on me. I mean,
it's a different type of animal because you're compact. So when you get hit and you're looking one way and you get clobbered on the other end, it kind of stings a little.
Yeah.
See, I always wanted to do trucks.
No.
Yeah, I know. My thing was I always wanted to do a truck, and I've talked to Robert Graham, and the one year he ran, his last year I think it was, he went out there, put on a hell of a show, comes back and he's just like, everything just hurts, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I don't want to do trucks as much as I think I do.
Oh, them frames are.
Yeah,
they don't move.
It's like you got the older style trucks and you got the newer style trucks. Like when you get to like the late 70s, early 60s, when you got the leaf springs.
Yep.
And, that just makes my back hurt. Just talking about it.
What was that international? You remember?
60 65, I think it was 1965.
65 International. Dude
International.
painted them all ink and everything
That
and brought
was-
it out. I was like, I was so afraid to watch the thing get smashed because that's an old truck. But at
Well,
the same
that's a-
time, that thing held its own. That was impressive to watch that thing go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see you guys back at Sandusky. It's gonna be a good show. If last year was awesome. I mean, every year is gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
year that facility is awesome. No, I thought. I mean, it's Facebook, and I see that USA is going to Armada.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a fantastic show. Are you guys gonna make that journey down there, or
I'd
You don't want
like to. Well, I know I have that day off already. My scheduled day off work, so I know I could. I'd like to make it. I've never been to that venue. I've been in that. I've been to Goodles, Richmond, in that general area, but I've never been to Armada. I'd
yeah?
like
I heard.
As long as they don't drop a tornado that day. Every
Yeah.
time we go, the few times we went to Goodell's, they had like a tornado go on, and it's like,
yeah.
no, because the last time we went, Armada did get hit with a tornado, and it was like, oh, hey, that's pretty scary, and
Yeah, I
It's a
remember a
lot
few
of
years
people
ago, Goodles had to stop. I think it was the truck pull or the figure eight, and escorted everyone off the track because had a tornado spotted or something like that. That was a few years ago, but that's still pretty scary.
I heard. I forgot who mentioned it last year, but it was like standing room only in Armada. I mean, it was a packed house. I heard.
No,
Totally.
That's Sandusky's a packed house, and like Armada's a packed house. Emily City's also a packed house.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
I
good,
usually-
though.
I mean, I went to Emily City when I was a kid, and I kind of like, well, not my cup of tea. But now as I got to adulthood, I started going there with the wife, and like, this is actually a pretty nice fairgrounds because it's right on 53 there. So you're getting all that traffic from the city. It's like, it's nice. And the fairgrounds, like maybe 50 feet from the road.
Mhm.
Wow.
It's nice to see a full, grandstand when there's a show going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. If you see a half grandstand, and there's a derby getting ready to take place. That kind of takes a little bit of
Oh, don't do that.
takes a little bit of
I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning, so.
the.
6:30.
I was up at 5.
Yeah, but you had work. I had the day off.
That's
But,
another thing. That's another thing. At majority of the shows that normally go to, I usually am working part of them days.
Mhm.
I wake up at my normal time, so it's not like I'm just going to a show and then doing what I love doing. I'm actually putting in the work day basically, and then shooting right off, man.
Yeah.
It's so usually on average, during the summer, it's about 1. I'm gonna say about 1:30. I'm going to bed.
Ooh.
Got to be up at 5. So
Yeah, 4-hour nap. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's. I'm not giving up what I like doing. I like doing it. So it's just kind of a trade off. It's all right.
just trying to think what else comes to my mind. Talk about derbies, figure eight racing, bump and runs.
Oh yeah.
Ever quite popular sport out there. That's getting some traction.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That seems to be. I mean, that seems to be taken to. What I'm kind of noticing is that's kind of taken hold. Seems to be the growing theme. If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
When what I kind of see. I'm not a promoter, but it's just what you see. Oh,
Stepped on my foot.
I'm sorry.
I'm like, what happened?
Oh, I stepped on her foot.
You stepped on my toe.
But yeah, that's kind of like the stranglehold. Most like a lot of fairs get that like 50 to 60 card count for a bump and run. It's like, wow, that's a good night.
Mhm.
Yep.
I think Sandusky last year had 64 bump and run cars that showed up, and that was a packed house.
It's nice seeing the car counts up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that means that there's still interest. You know, and hopefully years down the line, the younger generation, you get enough of them to carry it on.
And
I'm glad you brought that up because it's like the youth.
Mhm.
You gotta. There has to be a venue or a promoter or somewhere down the line that is willing and able to start a youth. I mean, I don't know. Is there any youth derbies?
Johnny with USA does do youth.
Okay.
And he's very big on it. Starting with the Power Wheels, getting the kids out there for that. He does certain races, and a lot of it is insurance based around because sometimes insurance does not want to work with it.
Oh yeah.
But again, you watch them kids get out there, and they're just so excited.
They are.
We have. Okay, so are you familiar with how do you say Andre's last name? Bergerman. He does the announcing for USA. Well, his girlfriend's little boy is named Trenton, and Trenton will tell you that he is our biggest little fan. There's nobody out there bigger than him. Well, this year he's really excited because they're building him a car to run for the first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I'm totally stoked about this, and so is he. He's excited, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "You're gonna get my pictures right. Chris is gonna get my videos right." And I'm like, "Dude, why wouldn't we? We're excited. I love encouraging the youth. I love watching them get out there. And I'm old school, and I might take a little heat for this, but I don't believe in participation trophies. I believe, it's first place, second place, third place. If you're gonna go down to 5, then that's fine. But teach your kid, it's not all about winning and losing, but winning is great. If you win, great, you get a trophy for it. And try harder. If you don't succeed, put more effort into it, practice more, do better, and get there, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. And it's just amazing to see their little faces light up when we come walking out there.
I like seeing the excitement that they have when it's their turn to get out on the track.
Yes.
That's just like, man, that's just priceless. Seeing it's my turn, and they're ready to go. It's just
like, their little eyeballs light up like on Christmas Day. Like, yeah, let's go.
Yep. They're all excited and everything, and like last year there was one little boy. He was running for his first time, and he didn't win, but he still got up he stood up in his Power Wheels and went like this, held up his finger and went like number 1, and he just had such a blast with it. Even though he didn't win, he was thinking like he was a winner, and that's a great mentality to have. I love watching it, and then they progress from Power Wheels up to their first car.
Oh.
And then the excitement,
Mm-hmm.
it is amazing.
I like seeing the videos. Like you scroll through Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and you watch this little kid, just like a little granny staring over the steering wheel, their goggles on. It's like, yes, I love that. And you got to learn somewhere.
Exactly.
You start in Power Wheels, you move up to your car, then you dominate that and you learn from it. Okay, now I'm at age. Now I'm 16. I have my learner's permit. Dad, sign this piece of paper, and I'm going to run with you. dad signs it away, and it's father and son in the arena together. That's awesome.
Yep.
Sometimes it's father and daughter too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
or 3 generations: grandpa,
Yep.
dad, and the grandkids.
Yep.
That would probably make me, as a father, bawl my eyes out seeing my son next to me in the ring. That's like,
Yep. The memories of a lifetime right there.
and that's like,
And nobody can take that away, which is like, there's no, and I hate to sound this way, and I probably catch heat from it, this year in the past, but that right there, that memory of a relative on the track at the same time you are, or that smile of the person winning, or the handshake at the end, to me, that right there outbeats any trophy, outbeats any money, because that right there, that's a memory that can never, you can't take that away.
oh, you can't take that away.
No.
The memories of your friends running with you, or your kids, or whatever, you can't
Yeah.
forget the memories.
Or seeing your better half run for the first time.
Or that.
The joy. I remember when he was going past, and I could see, because he had his helmet on, you could only see this much of his face, his eyes and stuff. But you could just see the unadulterated joy
Yeah.
of him going out there. He was just so excited. He's over here like this at me, and I'm just like, get out there.
Gosh.
I love,
and that's in the car again.
and that's one of the things why I do the ambush photography too, on top of taking the action shots, because I like to catch those raw moments, because that's a split second raw moment that you're getting to see, because anybody can smile for a camera.
Oh yeah.
But when you're catching that raw moment of just an unexplainable emotion coming over them, it just makes your heart just want to feel like it's going to burst.
Oh, yeah.
I love that feeling. That's why I put so much heart and soul into taking these pictures, so that you guys have that memory. You can go back and go, oh my God, I remember how I felt, and it just makes me feel good, because I can't charge anybody for these photos. I don't have the heart,
Yeah.
What the heck was what?
I heard somebody yelling.
I think it was his background.
Oh, it's in your background?
Yeah, it's probably my background.
Oh, okay.
I have it's a madhouse here. I got
Oh, that's-
animals and yeah.
Have we heard the jingle chain, jingle collar?
But 2 more things. How about that elephant in the room called Demo? Have you heard about that?
I've been seeing bits and pieces of that, yeah.
Enlighten me.
It's Bristol.
Oh,
They're having a
yeah.
derby down there in Bristol.
Oh, yes.
And
I
there's
heard
voting.
something.
They got the voting going on, and yes, I 100% voted for our Mitten State guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
And it's that's going to be awesome. Just
Yes,
the fact that 4 of our Mitten State drivers are saying, hell with it. Let's go with it. Throw the hat in the ring. Let's party.
Yeah.
They're veterans too.
Oh,
They are veteran drivers. They know how to get the job done.
Oh yeah. And they're veterans. They know how to drive.
Mhm.
That'll be a good show.
That's in October. Yeah. Change your plans, you're thinking?
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
I know for a fact my boss loves me enough to give me my time off. So it's honestly on him.
Well, I know I could get the time probably off, but maybe watch it on pay-per-view. But I don't think.
Yeah, I had to ask.
Yeah, it would be awesome to go there. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really cool to go there.
My question is, I don't think they decided it. The I might as well say promoters, the individuals that putting this on. I don't think they decided yet on either dirt or asphalt.
Huh.
That
I think the asphalt would be that would be one for the ages.
oh yeah, especially in the
Oh, yeah.
infield, and asphalt with these
Yeah.
high horsepower cars. Oh,
Uh-huh.
huh.
Yeah, I that would be one definitely going to be in the books.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you decide to do pay-per-view, I'll pay for it.
I think it'll be a killer show, though. Yes.
I should have a bigger TV for the theater view.
Last year, instead of Blizzard Bash, we went out to Gold Rush, their first show. It was a long drive. We didn't fly. I drove out there. That was pretty cool. I mean,
It was a great show.
it's hard to explain. You just got to go and see it.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's worth to go.
It's a little different though, because the air out there is much thinner because you're so up high.
You just have to get used to it.
I don't think we even got used to it. We were out there for a week.
It was too windy out there.
Yeah.
It
It
was
wasn't just too windy. We were just like, we would go from the hotel to the truck, and it was like maybe 20 feet. And we're going, I can't breathe.
But I want to say thank you guys. I'm gonna probably end this pretty shortly, but I want to thank you guys for partaking in this
Oh, thank you. I mean,
first ever live stream thing, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. But when an individual is not that very techy,
Mhm.
kind of a learning curve. But other than that, how does anyone get a hold of you? Like if they want you to
it's real easy. You can get a hold of us on our messenger. Our response time is pretty fast, unless you're like getting a hold of us at like 2-3 in the morning because then we're sleeping. But normally, if the moment something comes up, I think both of our phones actually go off
Yeah.
to let us know, and usually one of us can react like right now and give an answer. So it's not really hard to reach us.
It's on Great Lakes Thunder
Motorsports and
Productions and Motorsports Facebook page.
Okay.
Messenger right there.
The thing I'm gonna probably end this with is if anyone that watches this stream don't mind the little outtakes and bloopers, but remember,
So it makes a good comedy.
the economy, yeah.
Yeah.
All I ask is if you see this gentleman and this lady at your local show, come up to them, say hi, say thank you for doing this event. And another reason why I'm doing this is now there's a name to the face. Who's this Chris? Who's this Christy? Now you have that face. Now you know who is Great Lakes Thunder and who comes to your show and records the live action. Thank you. I let you guys get back to your wonderful evening.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. And maybe later in the summer we can circle the wagon and come back to this and have another.
Oh
stream.
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
You
Dude,
too.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
again.
inviting us.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.